Hello guys, welcome to my Python tutorial. In this video, we'll extend our discussion on string functions. In our previous video, we took a set of string functions to understand how they work. Now, let's talk about ends with, expand tabs, find, and just touch upon format function in this video. To begin with ends with, as the name suggests, it checks whether the string variable ends with the input string, and the syntax for ends with is string variable dot ends with suffix comma start comma stop, where the search ranges from start to stop -1. The suffix can be a tuple as well. For instance, in this cell, we can see that the string s ends with Python, so we obtain true as output without specifying the range. If we specify range, it is equivalent to slicing the string and finding the suffix towards the end of the string, and that is why s dot ends with Python, 2 gives us true, and s dot ends with Python, 21 validates to false, as index of p is 21 and the string ends with p and not with Python, and with the range specified, the third statement evaluates to false, as the start is 8 and the stop is len of s by default. So the string ends with Python and not with string or any other suffix. Now, providing suffix as tuple, Python searches initially for all string or characters in a tuple which ends with the same letter as the string. So here, when we do this, we are left with in and Python. If there is an element in a tuple which is just n, the criteria is met already and the result is true. But here, we do not have that element. So the search continues. So now, Python searches for element on and we are left with only the string Python, and as it matches with the end string, it returns true. If we had on as an element, we would have obtained true before checking whole Python. The next snippet is very similar, except I have used alphabets and tuples instead of a word. Moving on to expand tabs. Expand tabs return a copy of string where all the tab characters are replaced by one or more spaces depending on the current column and the given tab size. To have a better understanding, let us look at some code snippets. And to begin with, we have the syntax of expand tabs, which is string variable dot expand tabs of tab size equals integer, where tab size is an optional parameter and defaults to 8. So when we perform expand tabs on s variable, we can see that there are only 7 spaces in place of tab. As it is difficult to count the space, I have used the replace function to replace space with hash. In the next snippet, S has 8 spaces instead of tab space, whereas T has only 6 spaces. So how this works is based on the characters present before tab space. We have already discussed split function in list. Expand tabs initially splits the strings based on the tab, which leaves us with hello space wo comma rld for s and wo comma rld in case of t. And now we join these elements using space, and the space depends on the length of the element. So if the length of the element is less than the tab size, here 8, number of space equals tab size minus length of the character. This is applicable for t variable where number of characters is 2, which is wo, and therefore by the formula the number of spaces becomes 6, and the number of characters is greater than or equal to the tab size, it moves to its next multiple such that tab size into x is greater than the number of characters. Then the same formula is applied. This applies to s variable where the number of character is equal to the tab size 8. Hello space wo. Now the tab size becomes 16, multiple of 8, and when we apply the formula, number of spaces become 8. Similar examples are given where there are 6 spaces after 0, 1, as the number of characters is 2, and 5 spaces after 0, 1, 2, and 4 spaces after 0, 1, 2, 3. And below is a function call with tab size as 4. We have again executed expand tabs function call with a range of tab size from 0 to 7 to have a better understanding on how expand tabs work. There is a question now. As we have in syntax that tab size can be an integer, what if tab size is negative? In such case, we can see it defaults to 0. So with this idea, we can now see how find function works. Find returns the lowest index in the string where substring sub is found within the slice s of start is to end. Syntax of find is string variable dot find of sub comma start comma end. It returns -1 when sub is not found. And here is a demonstration of finding a letter or word in a string variable on a function call which finds I in slice s of 4:13. Finally, we have our format function. It formats the string based on keywords or arguments which are passed as parameters to format function. We need to specify the index or variable name within braces and call format function, which contains a sequence or element which can be replaced in place of the curly braces. We have code snippet where index 0 is replaced with value of variable k, which is an exclamation mark. This is a simple example. We have different types of formatting where we can access argument by position, name and attributes. We'll discuss them along with some miscellaneous example of format function in our next video. So that's all about ends with, expand tabs and find. See you guys on my next video. Thank you.